of that is only around 15% at this point in time. So which is good news for India perspective. Global economy slightly slowing down, which will put commodities under kind of a pressure in a way, and no recession, okay, which will be not a bad scenario from an India perspective. So if you look at the Indian macro side, okay, what's happening over there? So I mean, our GDP growth is fairly strong. So we've been growing at around in the last around 8% or so. Going forward, also forecast is that while the global growth is likely to slow down, China is likely to slow down. If you look at it, and overall global growth is going to be slightly weaker, India will still be the fastest growing economy, large economy, right? Going forward, I think we'll grow at currently our GDP growth is around 7.5% or so. But actually, we think that underlying growth is around 6.5% in that region. And I think we can continue to sustain that growth for a long period of time. And we'll come to that, the reasons for that, right? It might not be a very high growth, okay, which is there, but it's a reasonably good growth in the context, okay, where the large economic growth will be going forward in the next, say, 5 years or so. So that is important because if the economy continues to sustain, that then only corporate India will do well, right? Corporate earnings will be there, markets will follow that. So if you look at the pre-COVID, before COVID and now, right, how the growth trajectory has been of India's GDP growth, right? So pre-COVID, we were growing at this trend line growth, the red line, right, which is the trend line growth. If there was no COVID, okay, we would have continued to grow at this rate. Our GDP would have continued to be at this rate, right? Because of COVID happened, okay, GDP growth came down, and we started to now slowly recover. But we are still growing slightly below the trend growth. So while we think that our economy is doing very well, right, GDP growth is now moved up, right, the last few quarters, the numbers have been very good, but we are still growing below our pre-COVID trend rate growth rate, right? So it's not like the economy is booming, we are at the peak of the economic cycle, we are not really there at this point in time. And we further dissect that the GDP growth into two parts. One is investments and consumptions, right? There are two parts of the economy. So investment growth has actually picked up very well post-COVID, and is now going above the pre-COVID trend. This is the above the pre-COVID trend. It's positive now compared to the pre-COVID level. Consumption is still below that trend, right? Slightly below that trend, which is this number over here. So what has happened is that post-COVID, the government took the heavy lifting. Government increased the fiscal stimulus, your fiscal deficit increased, right? And government spending increased, right? And that's why we see investments have picked up, which has helped the economy to recover. Consumption is still weak because the COVID impact on the rural economy, and this thing is, we see rural economy was still struggling to recover, right? If you look at the consumption from the FMCG company and their numbers have still been weak. And now slowly it is coming back now, right? So that has been the bigger picture over here. So I think, but the good thing is that investments picking up and sustaining